Baby, I've made you a cup of coffee.
Ah, it's so kind. Thank you.
There you go.
He's a good boy.
Baby,
Yeah?
I'm just going to have a rant. See you in a minute.
Poor people.
Hello everybody, this is my, well it's not really a rant video, it's more of a conclusion as to my procedure. What are you laughing at?
Is it finished?
Eh?
Is it finished?
I've not even started the video yet, baby.
Something about the procedure.
Conclusion?
Yeah, I'm not going to go past this letter now, because I've got, well I'm going to let the people know in due
Got a
course.
life.
I've got a life, baby. Shan, why are you behind the camera? You're not the executive producer.
Every time you move, that little box moves, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's because it's got face recognition. Come round here, darling.
Trigger, innit?
Come round here. I've made you a lovely cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'm just going out now.
Tracy's come round. Tracy should be in her shop, working. What's this, dinner break, tea break?
Daybreak.
Dinner.
Day break. Unbelievable. So when these clear off and get out of the way...
Going now.
Does she shout your mummy? Where do you get that from, baby?
Says him. Says the quiet little mouse.
Yes, the telly's so loud.
Hey? Because I have the what's so loud?
Telly's so loud.
There's no telly on, baby.
Yeah, but you have it so loud, I have to speak loud now.
What are you doing hand signals for, baby? You can't say that. For the deaf. Unbelievable. Terrible. Face the camera, baby.
Come on, baby. No one puts baby in the corner.
Yeah, but I only get called baby on the video.
No, she don't. I always call her baby.
Everything else.
I'll call you a few other things, I know. When you don't do what you're told.
Woof woof.
Oh, I'll get a negative for that, won't I?
Yeah. You've done it now.
I've done it now.
Make it negative.
Gotta get a negative now. Right, so where are you two off to anyway?
Please put the negative person, please put their name down, because we're curious who you are.
Don't say that, you're giving them fuel and we get more negatives now you've said that.
They
Can't give
know
any more
who
than one,
they are.
can they?
Eh?
Can't give any more than one.
No, but other people are joining because it's notorious, isn't it?
You only
Anyway.
get one anyway. They
Anyway.
can see that if they look back.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, Trace, let's get out of here.
Anyway.
Let's go and see this. I've got dentist 10 past 3.
They said her teeth are alright, her gums have got to come out. Say hello, Tracy.
Bye.
Say bye-bye, everyone. Leave me on my own.
Everyone, leave your own.
Leave me on my own to talk to these wonderful people all over the world.
I'm going to deliver an Easter egg.
Come here, baby.
Oh, for goodness sake.
What? This is what we do every time she goes.
Are you going out?
Ta-da. Every time she goes, we shake hands. Eh? Oh, I'm going to say ta-da, baby.
Yes.
Come here.
Sit.
Come on. Enough.
Outside.
Enough. Enough of this tomfoolery. Out you go. I've got people to talk to. I've got to let them know what this is all
I've
about.
got my parcels now, they're in my handbag.
Ta-da. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Come on, dogs. In here. In here.
Just hurry.
Come on. I said you just told us to go. Right, anyway. Right. Have a sip of my tea. Right, here we go. Well, as you know, from my initial Ford rant video about my bolt, my subframe bolt, well, I sent a letter off to Ford's because, as you know, that in my first video of this, I went into the shop, they gave me the wrong thing, 2 people said it was the right thing, and I ended up having to go back to the shop and back twice because they didn't have the part in. Anyway, they made a mistake and that was it. If you're not familiar with it, go back to my first Ford rant video and you'll know what it's all about. Well, I sent them this letter, basically to the Ford customer service, not the actual Ford dealership I went to, because they told me that there's nothing they can do and that there was no manager there for me to speak to express my concern, and they give me the Ford customer help care desk telephone number, to which I then decided to write them a letter, and this is that first letter. So I sent them all the information on the letter with my name and address, date, times, everything on it, and even a link to the YouTube video so they could see to get a full explanation of what I actually went through. So that went out on the 22nd of February. Now, 2 days later, quick response from, don't forget, this is not the local dealership, Evans Howshaw in Lincoln. This is the main UK Ford customer service. 2 days later, I'll get a letter come back. Now, basically, what that letter stated: thank you for my contact to Ford Customer Relationship Centre. we would like to discuss they want to discuss it with me by telephone for some reason. However, I didn't give them a telephone number. Could I please contact them? So they've got a phone number here. So anyway, cut a long story short, as I put a letter in, I was expecting a letter back, which is basically what I got. But I didn't get a letter back saying to solve my problem. I got a letter back saying, can I phone them up? So they want to talk to me. So I phoned them up, spoke to customer service UK, and they basically said that there's nothing they can do. It's not their fault. It's not their problem, because Evans Halshaw is a franchise, and they suggest that I contact the Evans Halshaw to deal with the problem. I told them that they said there was nothing they can do, and they passed me on to them. Anyway, cut a long story short, that was that for conversation. So that was the 24th of Feb, and in that letter they sent on the 2nd of March back to me after that conversation. Thank you for your letter dating regarding the concerns you experienced in purchasing a subframe bolt. They've said the concerns of our customers, this is what they say here, the concerns of our customers are extremely important to us, and it is therefore with regret that we note your dissatisfaction with the level of service provided by Evans Halshaw. Then they say that the dealership is an independent franchise with its own operating procedures and management structures, and as such, we would usually advise customers to liaise directly with the management due to of the dealership for a satisfactory resolution. So basically what they're saying there is that although you've been passed on to us, we're now telling you that basically you've got to deal with them, and they should be sorting your problem out because they're franchisees who have their own policies and blah blah blah. Then they say, however, on this occasion, as you have been directed to Customer Service Relationship Centre by the dealership, and in the interest in improving customer care, I am happy to contact the dealership on your behalf and ask that they contact you directly to discuss this. Okay? So basically, she's told me in this letter that they're going to contact the dealership, because I said there's no way I'm going back down the ladder. Once I've dealt with them, they put me up to you. Now you're telling me to go back down. So she said she was going to do that on the 2nd of March. I had another conversation with them on the telephone, basically on the 7th of March, because they asked to speak to me again, and the telephone conversation basically said that it's not their problem. I've got to deal with it. It's basically reaffirming what she'd said in that previous letter. So I said it wasn't good enough. I've counted down all my hours which I've wasted on this, because it takes about an hour to formulate a letter and answer a reply and phone calls and stuff like that. I mean, this is time out of my day at the end of the day, and as I informed Ford Customer Care Services, I don't have the luxury of a customer care service department who has to answer my letters and correspondence and stuff like that. So bottom line was that on the 7th of March, I said that why didn't you contact them directly, because she's telling me to contact them directly again. And then basically what she's saying is that she will now then contact them after about 4 or 5 days later after sending another letter. Total confusion, total waste of time. Anyway, cut a long story short, she obviously did do it on that occasion, but don't forget now I've had to write sort of 2 letters, and I've had to make 2 phone calls to them, wasting my time. I've had to explain the situation over and over again. Anyway, cut a long story short, she did get onto Evans Halshaw, and the manager of Evans Halshaw then gave me a phone call on the 7th of March. And on the 7th of March, he basically said, I was away that day. He said, I am the manager of the Evans Halshaw branch, and all I can do is totally apologise. It should never have been escalated the way that it had been by our members of staff on the counter there. And basically what I'm prepared to do for you, Mr. Butler, he said, because you've had a waste of journey, petrol going backwards and forwards, as I said, my total bill, the bolt was only about £5 or whatever. My total bill, because I spent on the oil seals, come to about £40 odd, £41, £42, something like that. Well, he told me that he was willing to forward me that money, refund me the £40 basically. So he said, all I'll say to you is that is as far as I'm concerned, because I'll put in a bill for my time wasted also at Ford Customer Service UK, basically, for the time that they've spent sending me silly letters, asking me to phone them back and all that. So I accepted that offer, basically. So they paid me, and Evans Halshaw of Lincoln was once the manager, he said he'd spoken to the staff. That should never have happened. He said he's dealt with the staff and they want to keep me as a customer, obviously. So I'm very happy with that now. I got refunded there. But now we're dealing with the main customer service at Ford. So I sent them a bill for the remainder of my time, which they'd wasted basically when they said that I'm having to contact them, phone them back, write a letter because they said that they hadn't done what they said in the phone call. And they sent me a letter back basically because I've sent them a bill. Thank you for your letter dated the 7th of February regarding the parts order from Evans Halshaw. I am sorry to hear the issues you have experienced. So basically they apologised. They basically, on the phone, they've apologised about 10, 12 times when they've spoke to me personally. They basically said they apologised that I was directed to customer service centres by Evans Halshaw for the inconvenience this may have caused you, and I note your request for reimbursement for the time taken to resolve this matter. However, this is not a goodwill gesture that we offer, and as such, we cannot adhere to your request. So basically, if you're dealing with Ford customer service, and don't forget this is a big corporation and company, if they waste your time, they're not willing to give you a goodwill gesture, which is what you normally get when you're dealing with a small company. You get goodwill gesture, and I'll tell you about bigger companies in a minute, and they're not willing to do that. And as a result of that, I could take this further because I've documented everything down. I've all got the telephone recordings. I've got my time wasted through my costings and all that. And it's something I have done before with big companies. When big companies normally have contacted me out of the blue, because I'm on what they call the TPS register and the MPS register. In other words, I don't get junk mail and I don't get junk phone calls come through. And if I do, I'll find out who's doing it because I'm on the register where my number shouldn't be contacted on databases and mailing lists. And I've successfully claimed large sums of money from companies who pester you, normally throughout the day or in the evening, with phone calls, cold calling and stuff like that. That's now all stopped. That doesn't happen no more, but I've successfully taken at least a handful of people through the court procedure, the small claims court, where they've pestered me, and I've recorded everything just like I'm showing you here. And just before it goes to court, you normally, before you start a small claims, there's certain things you have to do in the procedure. For example, for my costs, you have to send a notice of demand for administration costs. Normally you put that in bold letters and you underline it at the first instance on the top of the page. So that is if your time has been wasted and you can justify that the company who has wasted your time has done. I've got all the written evidence, and I've also got the telephone conversations where they're apologising for wasting my time, as well as the correspondence here. So I could take this even further, but you normally get a response like this when you go down the lines where people say, however, a goodwill gesture that we offer, it's not a thing that we offer as such, and we cannot adhere to your request. So that normally would make me then go to the next stage of a final notice of demand within 21 days, make your payment or I'll take you to a small claims court. I'm not going to bother in this case because at the end of the day, Evans Halshaw have done the right thing, and hopefully this will show you, this paper trail here, is that when you're dealing with big corporations, this is what you get tied up with, and be prepared for this, to get tied up into this sort of correspondence. And don't forget there's also phone calls which have been recorded as well, and this was over a £5 bolt. The difference between a £5 bolt and a £4.30 bolt. This is what all this is about. And if this is what customer care is, about a big corporate company like Ford trying to pass the buck back down the chain to a franchisee who works under their umbrella of Ford, and basically they've come back and dealt with the situation. The manager was unaware of the situation. So I'm going to close it down there, but just to give you some sort of understanding what you have to go through when dealing with big corporations. Now that, to me, that final letter there, if Ford would have come back and said, yes, we're very sorry that this has happened, I'm afraid we've wasted your time, as you've obviously shown us that we have, with written correspondence backwards and forwards, and as a result of that we'll give you a £40 gesture, or we'll give you a free car service, or something like that. Something which doesn't really affect a large company. But no, all they're doing is the policy, no, can't do that. That's our policy. We know that if you take it further, you've got to take us to a small claim court. For me to start a small claim will cost £70 initially for me to start that. Not a problem doing that. And then when it gets to the court date, then there's an £80 fee to pay as well. So you're looking at about £150 up front to start a small claims court. But I've done that, as I said to you, with a lot of companies. And when it gets to the court date, they've been issued with the documentation. And maybe a day or so before the court date, I've had phone calls and letters saying that yes, we'd like to settle out of court for hundreds of pounds or whatever, and that's happened. So I've done that successfully. I'm not going to bother in this case anyway. So yeah, that was the Ford saga. They've come through Ford's Evans Helshaw, which is it's a so-and-so company trading as Evans Helshaw. So that's now put to bed. I won't keep on about that anymore. As you probably know, I did this first Rant video, not necessarily for my benefit, but hopefully for everyone else's benefit as well. And talking about large company customer services, those of you, Ford, if you're listening, Ford, and that letter you just sent me there, I contacted Magard Wilnuts in, I think it was Denmark, that's the main department, or main head of office, whatever you want to call it, about, as you probably know if you've seen in my other videos, about the wheel nuts that broke on my 10-year-old Mondeo, or 12-year-old Mondeo, whatever it is, and I didn't even buy them, and I contacted them, and they sent me free of charge, not only a free wheel nut, but the kit, the tools, the specialist tools, to actually remove them, providing that I would send them back to them. Now that is good customer service, and that is what I got from Magard Wheel Nuts. And the other thing I got as well is with Halfords, another one to praise in my book anyway, with the dealings that I've had with them. I've got the professional toolkit, which is the ratchet spanners and stuff like that, and they've got a lifetime guarantee, and they really have, because I've had mine for probably about 3 or 4 years now, I suppose, something like that, my kits. And I know I've overused them really, you've probably seen in my videos, with the extensions I've been putting on the ratchets. But I took them straight back to Halfords, any Halfords branch, and said, this has got a lifetime guarantee on it. Is there any chance I can exchange this? Yes, all I've done, leave a signature, leave the old one with them, pick a brand new one up. Halfords, fantastic customer service there. When you say you've got something guaranteed for life, they do mean it, and I've experienced that on. So there's 2 dealerships there, large companies, Ford, who have dealt with it in a lot more satisfactory way than you have. So good on you, you two, Magard Wheel Nuts and for Halfords as well. Ford, although you may have a big customer service department, it's all red tape and it's all hullabaloo, and that's not what it's about. It's about the customer at the end of the day.